Instagram and YouTube are becoming highly popular for influencer marketing as of now. Do you think there is another platform for Indian market and as well as for the international market which you think might pick up later on? Hey guys, Sannidhya this side, and in this video, I'll be interviewing Mrs. Varsha Lakhwani on influencer marketing, and we'll be discussing her journey as well as she'll be answering questions like how can someone who is a newbie start influencer marketing, what are the intricacies and granularities of influencer marketing, how does the business side of influencer marketing look like. So stick till the end and get answers to all these questions. Hey Varsha, thanks
Hi.
for doing this, and like we are really happy to have you on board and to answer some of our questions which are related to influencer marketing, because you have been active on Instagram as well as on LinkedIn, so you know both the sides of all the platforms which are out there. So really excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's a pleasure. Let's get into it and hope that this would be valuable for you and your audience and everyone who would watch it.
So for the people who don't know you already in this audience, and I guess since there's no overlap between our audiences, so there would be many, so why don't you introduce yourself? I would be also doing that. I would have already done that, but I just want you to do that so that if I skipped anything, then you might be covering it over here.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Varsha Lakhwani. I own a boutique social media marketing agency, and I am also a travel and fashion content creator. So yeah, a bit of both, and that's it. That's all about me. Let's jump on to you.
Yeah, so let's jump on straight into influencer marketing, for which we are over here. So first thing first, which is your favorite platform of influencer marketing, since you are on both LinkedIn as well as on Instagram? So which do you think is, according to you, is a better platform for influencer marketing?
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay. Okay, and why is it so?
I think Instagram is, of course, I agree, there's a lot of noise and it's so saturated. But still, I feel that Instagram is for everyone, no matter what your field is, no matter whether you're a creator, you're a business, you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is, Instagram can accommodate. When it comes to LinkedIn, LinkedIn is still in its very early stages when it comes to influencer marketing bit or creators. So I feel in it's a little different because there it's more B2B sort of products or services which would be associated with LinkedIn creators, whereas Instagram is like anything and everything. Whether I'm selling a soap or I'm selling a 500,000 course, Instagram can be used. So yeah, that's why Instagram.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I also feel that, and that's what my next question would actually be. I think, I also think that on LinkedIn it's a bit difficult. So in general, what's your strategy for influencer marketing on LinkedIn? Because we all know that on Instagram already brands are over there, that they are they're trying to have people on board, but on LinkedIn not such a great awareness, or I'll say not such aware market is over there, and also people are not actively seeking for influencers. So how do you approach influencer marketing on LinkedIn?
So I'll be honest, I haven't had any clients who are actually very open to influencer marketing on LinkedIn. Or, let's just say that I didn't feel that it was an apt platform for them. But I have seen some of my peer creators trying to promote a product or two. And so it's not that it's not happening, it is happening, but I think it's still in its trial and error phase. People are trying to see whether it's like, it can
Mm-hmm.
help, it's going to work out or no. But it's a different set of products and services which are, like, which can be promoted on LinkedIn. It can evolve, but for now it is limited. That is a fact. Like, at least that's what I feel.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. I also feel that it's kind of very restricted to service oriented things first of all, and then second one is like HR things and all. So it's kind of restricted to that as of now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that also answers this particular question, that how is influencer marketing different from LinkedIn and from Instagram. So it already answers that. So
So I
now.
feel, when it comes to LinkedIn, it's more for B2B. it's more for, let's say, if you are into corporate gifting products,
Oh,
definitely you can
nice.
use it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are into, let's say you own an HR consultancy, like how
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yeah.
that is something which can work well. So again, very B2B sort of services and products. Definitely, LinkedIn can be helpful, but it's like I said, it's evolving, it's still learning. So people are a little apprehensive, but as they say, if you are an early adopter, uh, it can, like, work out for you. So a lot of LinkedIn creators are, me and you being
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
group. I think we are just kind of trying to adapt early onto this platform, that
Right.
when it kicks off and if and when it actually happens, we have that advantage, right? So
Right.
we all are putting in that sort of time and energy to create content, because definitely there is something, we don't know what exactly, but it's not that it's not going to happen. I think it will start picking up slowly. It already has. I saw a lot of people promoting this laptop bag. So
Oh,
definitely it was no
yeah.
coincidence.
Yeah.
It
Right.
was a, I don't know, paid barter, whatever it was, but it was an influencer, LinkedIn influencer campaign. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is happening.
Definitely, yeah. That one campaign was actually grabbed my eyes also, and I was actually thinking of buying it. And one of the people who actually promoted it, I went ahead and asked them how it was and what all things happened inside that. So yeah, definitely it was a barter thing which was there. So yeah, but on Instagram that really happens now, barter system, because people are more aware over there, and yeah, influencers are actually having their niche, and they can strictly go ahead and say that, if we are promoting it in front of our audience and giving you eyeballs, then definitely we're gonna charge for it. It's not going to be free.
Yeah. So I think again that is like very subjective. A, depends on the campaign and the brand and the budgets. B, depends on the category of influencers and how much influence you have. What is your engagement rate, etc., etc. A lot of factors define the value, and ultimately it's the creator who defines it. If I say that I'm going to charge $500 and I am held and, to that
Mm-hmm.
whatever the amount I'm saying, that's it. I have decided what I'm going to charge. So even if the brand is saying no, I think the kind of profile you have is just probably 100 or 200, then it really depends on the creator, the influencer, that are they okay with it. If they
Mm-hmm.
think that, let some paid bit come in, because right now that's the struggle for nano and micro
Right.
influencers, that
Right.
they are struggling to find paid work, because the world is filled with butter. But it's not that paid work doesn't happen, it
Mm-hmm.
does happen. I think everything takes time, and just because some influencers became really big in short span, it has kind of set wrong examples. So
Right.
everyone thinks that, oh, okay, chalo, let me just create some content, put it out there, and in no time I'll have 100,000 followers. It doesn't happen.
Right.
It really doesn't happen. So
Overnight success.
it, I mean, it can happen. I'm not saying that it cannot happen, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's not the norm. That's not how it is.
Yeah. Definitely got your point. So that brings me up to, one thing, which is basically you have been on the both side of the spectrum. You have been on the company side as well, and you have been on the influencer side as well. So let's talk about the first company side, so that everyone knows what is going on in the head of that particular person who approaches you, okay, and asks you to promote their product. So how,
So I,
like,
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
yeah. So how can someone design, one campaign that creates an impact and makes a client with the like makes a dent basically at the end of, by doing this particular kind of influencer marketing?
So, there is no one fixed formula. It really depends on A, the product, B, brand mission, brand values, brand guidelines, and also the kind of market you are into. Now, today, the way, let's say, Nike or Adidas promotes itself in US, they cannot promote themselves in UAE the same way, right?
Right.
Because the culture is very different. So you kind of have to see a lot of things. You have to see the season, like if it's if it's something which fits into the holiday or gifting season, then that's a great opportunity. Like in
Hmm.
UAE, Eid is an opportunity for all the brands which,
Right.
which can be associated with this festival. So it really starts picking up, let's say 10 to 15 days before Eid. There are like so many campaigns going live. And then you talk about Christmas. So it really depends on brand values, brand mission, overall the product, and then ultimately it boils down to, yes, the creativity of the agency or the
Hmm.
person looking at your campaigns and your influencer PR. But also, you have to consider that not always you have, or the agency or I have, the flexibility or freedom to kind of do what actually I can do. Sometimes
Right.
you can propose certain things, but ultimately the brand decides. So how you can create a dent and have that amazing
Right.
campaign, it really depends on what the brand is also trying to achieve. Are they just trying to get eyeballs? Are they trying to get some sales also? Are they
Hmm.
just trying to kind of get into the good books of people?
Right.
It has a lot of factors to be considered, and accordingly you create that sort of a campaign. Now, when you look at initially when pandemic happened, so many brands actually made content and created so many campaigns around it, because it was like, okay, you're home, working from home, how to keep yourself mentally fine, this,
Hmm.
that. And it's the Zoom picked up like no tomorrow, and people
Right.
are suddenly Skyping, and like not Skyping, sorry, on Zoom, talking to their old lost friends as if they used to talk every day. No, it just kind of, it was the hype, and everyone wanted to catch on to it, right?
Hmm. Right.
So there are a lot of things, but yes, it actually depends on, if I have to list three key things, it should be in line with brand mission and values. It is what the brand is actually trying to achieve, or what you are trying to achieve by doing an XYZ campaign or a proposal which you are kind of proposing to the brand.
Hmm.
And third thing is the kind of impact you're trying to have in terms of, let's say, sales or impressions, or what is it that you're trying to achieve,
Hmm. Makes sense.
build credibility, whatever is the ultimate goal. So you have to kind of start working backwards.
Right. Right. Definitely, that makes sense. That one has to be situationally aware, at least, that what's going on, and then then come up with a strategy. That makes sense. So that brings me to next question, which is: has there been any campaign which is your favorite? Any influencer campaign, or which you think, and
Uh,
why?
so very recently, I'm not sure if you follow, but since I follow all these fashion influencers, L'Oreal sent, or however it was associated, Masoom Meenawala and Deepa Khosla. They are like big names
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
influencer industry, right? They were at Cannes Film Festival, and they were there representing L'Oreal. So L'Oreal kind of tapped into kind big influencer and celebrity bit by getting these two on board, but it didn't end there. I saw so many amazing micro and macro influencers recreating Ashwarya Rai's previous
Hmm.
Cannes look by using L'Oreal products.
Hmm.
So it's just amazing the way they kind of tapped onto the opportunity. Yes, they got some big people in, definitely, but they didn't let go there. That was not the end of it. They kind of made sure they have some amazing content again associated with Cannes Film Festival, where you have a lot of other creators also,
Hmm.
creating
Right.
content,
Right.
trying to. So you are referring back to the Cannes
Hmm.
Indian thing again, because you're recreating Aishwarya Rai's looks using L'Oreal products. So again, L'Oreal is there all
Right.
over. So it kind of like, I think for few days it took over Instagram.
It
Be
did.
it, be it about uh, whatever Masoom Meenawala and Deepa Khosla were wearing, why they went, how did they land up there. And at the same time, there were these all these creators who kind of started putting out their videos of
Mm-hmm.
recreating that look. So I think it was really well thought campaign. So I really liked it because you that makes you kind of realize if big brands like L'Oreal also understand the importance of micro influencers,
Mm-hmm.
then high time you do.
Right, right. They also had a nostalgia element over there, and the execution was really good. Like, and anyway,
Yeah,
nostalgia works really good. So they amalgamated both the things, and they pretty much, they just killed it. I think that was one.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So I really liked it.
me too, in that regard. So, that brings me to another question, which is, what are the things that you think brands are doing completely wrong when it comes to influencer marketing? Like, for example, I feel that attaching ROI with the same campaign is something which I think they are doing terribly wrong, because like you can't measure the ROI. What do you think, or do you also think that this is the ROI thing?
So ROI definitely can be measured. It's not that it cannot be measured. It's just that what I see, especially now, this is something which I've noticed with small businesses, who want to do it, but then they
Mm-hmm.
feel ki, oh, I send products to this influencer, but mujhe to ek bhi sale nahi aaya. I didn't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have wasted my money. No, you didn't waste your money. So many people saw your product, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of reached out to a wider audience. So yes, associating sales directly with influencer marketing is not the right way. I think influencer marketing is much beyond just sales and revenue. It is about you brand. It's about your brand building, brand positioning, brand credibility. Almost like, let's say, word of mouth publicity, because nowadays, if um, a micro influencer or nano influencer is using a product or is showing something, the trust is more. Like, people kind of think, okay, fine, let me also try this product. They might not buy it immediately, but for all you know, 5 months later, someone did buy a product which
Mm-hmm.
you don't know actually came from the influencer whom you had sent something and thought that, okay, it didn't work out. So associating immediate ROI, calculating that is wrong. Influencer marketing should be looked at in a more long term way. So you should be having a marketing budget dedicated to influencer marketing for, let's say, I don't know, at least minimum of 6 months to 2 years, to kind of see whether it's working for your business or no. And then with each campaign, you kind of evolve, you kind of learn what is working for you, what is not working for you. But irrespective, it's ultimately a PR thing. If I see a
Yeah.
Colgate ad on TV, doesn't mean I'm going to go and buy Colgate right now. But
Mm-hmm.
because I saw it, it remains in my head. It plays with the psychology.
Right.
So the more you see it, the more you kind of you have that brand or that product fresh in your head. So I might not need it now, or I might not even want the product, but I might be talking to a friend of mine who kind of just mentioned that, hey, I was actually looking for some really good jewelry for my Eid outfit. I can't find it. So I might just say, I actually saw an ad for this person, or she was wearing it. Maybe you should check out this brand. It looked good. So it can work in a million ways. How you will get sales, because ultimately all these things add to your sales and revenue, but it's not like this. It takes time. So if
Right.
you want to really measure it, have a budget, and then like a proper accounting goes into it. So when you are looking at what went into your marketing budget and your final results of
Mm-hmm.
sales, so you kind of have your pre influencer marketing strategy and your
Mm-hmm.
post influencer marketing strategy over a long time. And then
Right.
you see that there was an increase, or like at least some increase in traffic or website visitors, or you would see, like you would be able to kind of measure in these sort of metrics. If you want, but eventually you will see a trend in your sales also going up or down. So influencer marketing again can go south also. It
Yeah,
really depends on how the campaign is executed. It's not that it cannot go south. It can definitely go wrong, because it's like one person can just mess it up. So
I,
that's
I
the power and unfortunately curse of social media.
I remember Gal Gadot posting something on Twitter that you should buy this particular phone, and she tweeted it from Apple. And Marcus Brownlee, MKBST, actually pointed that out and said that you yourself are posting from Apple, and you are saying us to buy that other phone. So yeah, that can go south exactly. And the
Yeah.
traffic thing actually reminds me of one of the campaigns which Bhuvan Bam did for MeWe, I guess. After he promoted MeWe, there was a surge in the searches of that particular product automatically, and everyone realized that this is the power of influencer marketing. So I do remember that. Yeah. And if someone wants to measure an ROI, then definitely this is one of the measure which he can do after 6 months, that whether the brand awareness is there, that means the brand searches will increase automatically.
Exactly. So, influencer marketing also, can come with different goals. Your strategy, your campaign, your execution all depends on what you're trying to achieve. Now, if you have no market presence, no brand presence, and suddenly you want to do a campaign which just directly gives you sales, then that's like, it's not possible. You
Right.
kind of trying to achieve something which is not really possible. It can be incidental. Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
kind of do brand awareness campaign, and that can lead some it to some sales, but it just doesn't happen overnight. And unfortunately, that's a struggle when you work with small businesses. It's an
Right.
ongoing thing.
Right.
They expect that, oh, okay, I kind of gave away 5 of my products, but it didn't get me any sales. But I think we have come a long way. The
Right.
awareness, the acceptance is way more now compared to even, let's say, 6 years back, when you
Mm-hmm.
tell any normal small brand that you should kind of consider influencer marketing. They'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, you know. So yeah, I think we are evolving. We're getting there.
Right, right, right. Definitely. So let's come on to the other side of the table now that we have talked already about the company side. So the first
Mm.
question is, which everyone asks, how can someone become an influencer marketer? What are the starting things that he has to keep in mind?
Marketer or an influencer?
Sorry, as an influencer, basically, not a marketer.
I think so. The right term we should be using is actually content creators.
Right.
Influencer is a very, I think, a very recent sort of a term which is kind of associated with this thing, because
Mhm.
um, you are influencing people if you are that big, but even micro and nano influencers, or even celebrity influencers, ultimately they're all content creators.
That's true.
So first thing is, you kind of need to know what you want to do. Are you like a content creator who wants to create content about fashion, about marketing, about SEO, about makeup? What is your thing? Once you niche it down, initially it might be a little struggle, because there is, I don't know, but these lifestyle influencers, it's like anything and everything.
Mhm.
So probably I think start with that, then you would know what you actually want to do. Then niche it down if you are actually trying to get into the main, I don't know, the crowded side of into being an influencer and on Instagram. So
Mhm.
I think, although for some people it does work, doing everything, like from food reviews to makeup to clothes to everything, it works. But there are certain brands who are very particular about working with the right influencers.
Right.
Sometimes you want to kind of have that cross pollination, and although you might not be a tech person and suddenly you would be approached by Oppo or Samsung for a campaign, that's okay, because we all use phones.
Mhm.
Okay, once in a while it's fine, but I think niching it down is really important. So niche it down, then kind of start working on, or start being more aware about what works for you in terms of content. Are you a camera shy person? Then probably written content is more for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a camera shy person, then video is the thing. And if you can actually be that quirky and snappy person who can just, I don't know, make people laugh or cry or go wow in like 10 to 15 seconds, then you're going to pick up in no time.
Right.
So I think it has a lot to do with A, your passion,
Mm-hmm.
niching it down, B, your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we look at both of us, we both have very different personalities. Now, today,
Right.
if I try to do what you are trying to do, I will kind of get lost. And same would be true for you if you exactly would try to, do what I am doing. You may not be able to do because we both are very different people.
Right.
So I think personality plays a major, major role when you are talking about choosing your platforms or what type of content you should be creating. So I think these are the two things. Once you figure out these two things, then you kind of have to remember that nothing comes easy. And in this market, it's very challenging and very competitive. But still, if you, I think three things: consistency, patience, and
Yeah.
perseverance. If you
Right.
can push through, you'll get there. But if you think, oh, it's been 6 months, it's not
Mm-hmm.
happening, it takes more than 6 months. That's all I.
Yeah, it does. It does. Definitely. And definitely to
Yeah.
your point, I would like to add, yeah, definitely. If I make a reel upon, 7 outfits, which you should do, I'll only have five, okay, and I won't be able to do more than that. Even my viewers are like, yes, 7 से ज़्यादा शर्टें तो खरीद ले तू हर बार यही पहन के आता है. So yeah, that totally makes sense. I can totally vouch for that.
Personality really, I think, derives the kind of content you should be creating.
Yeah, exactly. So that brings me to next question, which is basically, so there are a lot of talent houses out there, agencies which represent
Yeah.
influencers. So how does that work? Basically, can you walk us through the whole process? Like, how do they how do they bring in talent inside there, and what is the process? And if that's a feasible thing, whether people should go for it or whether they should be standalone or something, like if you could walk us through the whole thing.
So definitely when you talk about talent houses and influencer management companies, there are many, but um, it comes with a lot of restrictions. There are contracts, there are commissions. They charge commissions because they are managing you, they are negotiating the brands on your behalf.
Right.
So I feel that if you have become that big where you are kind of struggling to do the outreach on your own
Mm-hmm.
and negotiate, because see, I may be great at creating content, I'm amazing, but I may not be very good at negotiating my deals.
Right.
So that's the thing. Then probably you can consider. That being said, I think that the if you want to associate yourself with such houses and agencies, it's more at a later stage when you have reached a certain point, that it has become a task for you to kind of manage everything. And these agencies are not open for anyone and everyone.
Right.
They take on board very selective people. I'm not sure about how the scene is in India for sure, completely, but based on what I know, it's not easy to get into it. B,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really need it. If you are someone who likes to be in charge and take control of what's happening when it comes to your work, hire hire a person or two, get your own team, and have your entourage going, man. Then you're heading towards the celebrity level influencer. So
Right.
why, you know? So I think it's again a very personal choice. Depends on your personality, depends on your workload. But if you're like a nano or micro influencer, I think that is something that you should not bother about right now. Your main focus should be on kind of creating content which is either entertaining, valuable, or informative, depending on your niche, and trying to get some work on your profile which helps you build your media kit so that you can eventually head towards getting some paid deals too.
Right.
So talent houses and everything, yes, it happens. There are commissions, there are some pros and cons, like everything, but it's more for big macro level influencers, is what I would say.
Yeah, actually, to add on to that, or just to yeah, basically to add on to that, even I have heard some not really good stories about that contract thing which you mentioned, because they get you on board and you generally don't read all the things, and then you don't have that kind of liberty and the freedom to get all these things done. But
Exactly.
as you mentioned that if you are someone who wants to keep the things intact and want everything to be in your control,
Yeah,
then definitely
you
you
can
should.
do it.
Exactly, makes sense. So yeah, that
Yeah.
actually solves even my problem as well, because I was actually no, because I was like that person who was thinking that whether this thing is doable, or whether I should, because I was approached earlier about this thing, and I actually let it go, because there were a lot of things which were coming as a restriction, that you'll have to post on, you will have to comment, you will have to do these things, and then I realized that there are a lot of restrictions in this particular contract. I don't want to do all these things. So yeah,
Yeah.
that does make sense. So for
Like,
all.
I think
Mhm.
it's almost like you kind of are signing a contract,
Mhm.
and when it comes to signing contracts where you're literally kind of giving someone the power to dictate how you work, you really should read and think about the terms and conditions, if they are actually fair and it works for you.
Right. Especially this thing happens with the YouTube channels. Agencies come over there, and they, in the contract there is a particular thing which is mentioned at the end, very small, which is basically we'll take control of your account. Okay, and then you also lose the ownership of that account. You lose the content thing as well, the all the hard work which you had done previous to signing up with them, and you lose everything. So yeah, I totally agree. I've seen that happening with a lot of people. So
Yeah, so it's always good to read.
definitely. So that brings on to our next question, which is, I use this phrase a lot, brings on. Anyway, so the question is, what are the podcasts and the blogs, as we said, read a lot. So what are the podcasts and the blogs which you should, which one who is just starting out should know about influencer marketing, which talk about influencer marketing?
I think nothing in particular about influencer marketing, I would say, but I really like listening to Gary Vee and Seth
High five.
Godin. High five. But still, I think I'm very moody when it comes to me trying to keep up or stay updated or learn. Sometimes I would just go through my LinkedIn feed, and that would give me all the updates of things which are happening and things which are not even happening. Sometimes, sometimes I would probably, jump onto a podcast by Seth Godin or Gary Vee, or Mad Over Marketing is also amazing. Like,
Right.
they have really cool posts coming out, I think 6 to 8 times in a day,
Hmm.
which is, I think it really kind of is really important to follow such accounts
Hmm.
to stay updated about what's happening, what cool campaigns happen, especially in Indian market.
Right.
They are on top of their game. That, and even social catch up.
Yeah.
So these are few of the accounts which I do follow, but like I said, I'm not a person who's very religious about these things. I'm very moody, and it's very subjective for me. There would be days I would just not read any marketing or work related content. I would be just reading books which are about self growth and self mastery sort of a thing. And then there would be time where I would be probably just catching up on all the available modules in whatever course I bought maybe 20 years, 20 years, no, sorry, 20 months back. So yeah, it really depends on my mood. So I think I'm not the best person to give any um, two, three places or books you should read, but definitely I think Gary Vee and Seth Godin and Mad Over Marketing.
Definitely.
These
Mhm.
would be, the names I would recommend.
So Instagram and YouTube are becoming highly popular for influencer marketing as of now. Do you think there is another platform for Indian market and as well as for the international market which you think might pick up later on?
So I think that unfortunately TikTok is no more in India, but
Yeah.
TikTok is really big in UAE and even in US. A lot of campaigns happen on that. People are actually making like TikTok influencers. You think are doing nothing, but they actually are getting a lot of brand deals. So TikTok is big out of India. Now, when I talk about India, I do see that Reposo and this MX Taktaka something.
Takataka, yeah.
They're trying hard. I have and Reposo is not new. I know that because I think I was in college or had just come out from college, and Reposo had approached me to do this leather jacket styling thing, and that was
Mhm.
actually the first blog I had done in my life. But that was the only thing I did on Reposo. But I know that people are still active on that platform.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
maybe that there is some potential because they are trying hard. Another thing for India is especially when it comes to these fashion related products and brands, Pinterest is big in India.
Yeah.
Not many realize, but if I create a story pin where I'm posting like a 15-second ka video of me getting ready in a sari or wearing a jewelry or whatever it is, and if I tag the brands which I'm wearing
Mhm.
and reroute traffic, that pin is there giving them traffic for like next I don't know how many months or years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Pinterest is also big, which not many brands kind of think of, or think of having a proper Pinterest strategy. But I think for Indian market, Pinterest makes a really good sense. So that is something that's a platform which should be considered.
Right. I'm also getting, this particular setup, kind of a new thing, giving it a new thing. But when I actually, it's not, it's kind of a very, shitty one. But I was actually thinking of, making a new one. So I definitely went to Pinterest and started surfing for all the products which are out there.
Yeah.
It's a good platform for creating ideas. And when ideation thing is only there, then only grabbing the attention in the awareness module, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and you go to, I remember that we all go to Pinterest for searching, but so many times while searching, when we actually like something, we do click on their website.
We do.
So, a lot of people might end up buying too, but it's irrespective, it's a great way to send traffic. It's almost like a backlink. So, it works well for your SEO also.
That's, yeah, obviously it
Yeah.
does. So that brings me to another question, which is related to affiliate marketing and influence marketing. Do they complement each other?
For sure. I think it is a really good hybrid model for small and medium businesses, especially because they kind of are so they the budgets are small, and right now the situation is that every brand's budget is small, that they need some sales out of it. So this is a great way to kind of merge two. You give your coupon code or discount code to the influencers, and you also give them, I don't know, the product on barter, or you pay to them to create content, or you kind of make them your let's say a loyal brand sort of thing, where
Mm-hmm.
you every 2 months keep sending them products. That way they keep promoting your code, where they also earn certain commission
Right.
and you get some sales. So it definitely works, and I myself have done campaigns with brands on this model, and it works amazing. Like it actually gives you all the benefits of influencer marketing. Okay, PR, brand credibility, brand building, everything of all that. Along with it, you get some immediate results too.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a good one, but not all the influencers would be okay working on that, especially when the brand says there is only commission. So then, from the influencer's point of view, you got to see that what sort of brand it is. Now, if you're
Hmm.
talking about Amazon, any influencer would be okay,
Right.
because that people buy from Amazon.
Hmm.
You know
Hmm.
that that brand is out there, and it's okay. You will get your money. People will get the discount. Your reputation is safe, and you make some money.
Right.
But if it's a new brand and it's just trying to give the discount codes and purely commissions, it may not work. So you have to see the strategy that time also, depending on a lot of factors. But
Hmm.
definitely merging the two is really beneficial for both.
Right.
Yeah.
So that brings me to final question. See, brings me. I use brings me every time. I don't know why. Anyway, so, so the final question: keeping Mr. Beast in mind, where
Mm.
where he has opened up a burger chain, and a lot of influencers are following his footsteps right now. So, what do you think is the future of influencer marketing, and do you think is it already saturated or is it far from saturated?
I think that it's saturated for sure, but at the same time, I would say that I don't see it going anywhere, because social media and digital space is the future. It will keep evolving. You have to keep up with it. Like, it's almost like how marketing companies 20 years back were so dependent on print media and the traditional approaches to marketing.
Right.
Now the companies who pivoted with time and evolved with it and inculcated all this social media marketing and influencer marketing as part of their services, and hired the right set of people to kind of who are good at these things, are still relevant.
Yeah.
But the ones who didn't pivot, who were like, no, this is what I do, this is what it is, they are lost.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm not saying that traditional marketing or traditional PR doesn't work. It works even in today's time. It is important, but it works in the blend, right? So that's the same thing I feel about influencer marketing too, that you being a content creator, you have to evolve with changing times. Like, I think you have to kind of keep in mind that you see nowadays filters. I
Right.
have absolutely no idea how long, um, or what is the future of malls,
Oh, yeah.
physical spaces,
Hmm.
because uh, I think Gucci already has some AR sort of thing where you can try on the shoes or something.
Hmm.
I think that's the future, right?
Right.
So digital space and social media platforms may change, new platforms may come up. You
Hmm.
might lose your 200,000 followers on Instagram because the way it happened with TikTok.
Hmm.
That may happen. But did people stop creating content? Did the influencer marketing go away? No. Did the importance of commercial and non-commercial content go away? No, it didn't. With the whatever happened with TikTok in India, no, it didn't, right? It just people learned. Okay, it
Yeah.
was like a ouch jhatka, but then you kind of have to pivot.
Hmm.
So I don't see it going anywhere. It is saturated, it is competitive, but unfortunately, that is how it is in every field nowadays. And this is the new doctors or engineers sort of a thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
No, I think not doctor engineer, but let's say Bollywood actor wala scene. So the age of superstars, the way Shah Rukh Khan was. or Amitabh Bachchan, I think it's changed. Like
Yeah.
people now will go to cinemas just to I don't know, maybe like it would go back to being the luxury. Okay, once in a while you go to cinema to watch a movie, especially after pandemic. So Akshay Kumar will also be on Netflix and Amazon Prime, and so will you be.
Yeah.
Okay, you did 2 web series on YouTube and you got approached. So I'm just trying to say is that it really depends on how well you pivot, but digital space is not going anywhere
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, that does make sense. Actually, to add on to that, I like if doctor and engineer are considered, then the people who are, making content which is related to marketing would be, regarded as that. And the people who are making in fashion domain, yeah, definitely they'll be regarded as Bollywood or something like that. So definitely it's pivoting. And yeah,
It's and that being said, we still need doctors and engineers. Please, we do need them. But I think the way
it's
our
the
parents,
society equivalent to that. Like, they used to glamorize engineering earlier
yeah,
than they that might pivot.
you can make like if I don't know if I'm talking about making 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs in a month by being a doctor and an engineer or whatever it is. If I am a big shot content creator, I can easily make that.
Yeah.
So, when you I think we have come a long way when it comes to acceptance of this as a career, as a
Hmm.
full-fledged career. But still, there is that hesitant.
Yeah.
There is that oh really, you do only this?
Yeah.
But what do you actually do? We still. I mean, this question does come up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um, but that just shows that it's just the beginning of something, right? It's not the
Right.
end, because when 20 years back someone wanted to go to Bombay to try and Bollywood or modeling, people would be like, oh really? Now you say that I want to become a YouTuber and you go like, oh really?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's just
Just.
that platforms may change,
Mm-hmm.
uh, technology may change, but it just depends on you how well you pivot.
Right. To give an analogy, it was earlier like the print media is the demon, then the digital media is the demon, and now AR is the demon. So yeah, as soon as we encounter new things, we
Something
demonize.
else will come up.
Yeah. True. So thanks a lot, Varsha, for the same. And it was really nice having you over here. I came to know a lot of things. My doubts got solved for free. Okay. I didn't have to book a consultation. I just had to arrange an interview, and that's how it happened. So yeah, thanks a
I'm
lot,
glad
Varsha.
you. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So guys, this was all for this particular week, and see you next time. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then press that thumbs up. And also, while you are at it and you want to get similar videos in future, then press that subscribe button as well as hit that notification bell. And if you think there's any friend of yours who wants to get into influencer marketing, then do send this video to that person. Until next time, bye bye.